Lorenzo Brown status?
Yeah, Lorenzo could not practice yesterday, tried to some. I think he's still a few days away, and we'll just have to wait and see day by day. You know, it's hard for me to imagine that he's going to be 100% by Thursday night. But again, I don't know that. You know, we'll just have to wait and see how he responds to the treatment. If he can, you know, get where he can plant and cut, move and sprint and jump, and you know, there's a lot he's got to get from here to there. There's a lot of room in between there, and it's a long ways to go. So we'll see.
How do you think you guys did without him?
Very well. You know, we're winning the game with 0.9, and we don't win. So you know, it's interesting sometimes in just a tip with 1 second how the feeling of everything can change. And you know, obviously, if they don't get the tip in, you know, we're walking around here with our chest poked out, and you know, we're excited, and we see things differently, and so you got to be careful with that, because I thought we did play well. We did a lot of things really well in that game. Tyler stepped up. I thought was, you know, very good, and a lot of guys. So we're not far off. I know that. We're close. So a lot of good things happened the other night.
Is it weird? Did you guys use more ball screen from Saturday?
We thought, and I thought Tyler had a lot of success with some ball screen action, and so we kept going to it, maybe more than we normally have. And I think that's just kind of a game-by-game feel as far as how much we do it.
You're 5-4 at the firm here at one point. How would you describe where you guys are?
Well, it's interesting. You know, we talked about this with our team. You know, the facts are the facts. You know, we live in a real world, and the world is that we're 5-4, and it's not where we wanted to be. It's not probably where we thought we would be. We also have to understand that in the next 9, 5 of those are on the road. We better fall in love with being on the road. We have to get better there. You know, in 2 of those games, 2 of the losses, you know, we're ahead with 1 second to go, and we don't win. So, however you want to look at it, 7-point total, 4 losses, all that. The reality is we're 5-4, and we got a ways to go here. So that's the challenge we have. We have to live in a real world. And, so we'll see.
3 freshmen grown up watching games at Cameron. How do you think they'll handle their first experience playing Cameron?
I think they'll be fine. I think they're excited about it. I think that I don't think any 3 of our freshman guys have appeared to me at any point in time, whether it was in Puerto Rico, it was on the road in Michigan, or New York City on that stage, where they've ever looked like they're, you know, afraid or cautious. They've always been pretty aggressive. And so I feel the same about those 3 guys going into this.
What's your assessment of Duke with their playing football offense since they played you last time?
Well, I think they've gotten used to playing without Kelly. You know, they've adapted and adjusted. You know, Emil and Harrison obviously give them something different. You know, Ryan stretched the defense, hit a lot of threes. You know, you had to guard him differently with Ryan, but now I think they've adjusted and figured out how they want to play. And I think those guys have really played pretty well for them. So, yeah, I think that's probably more than anything. They're playing awfully well. They've figured out how to play differently.
What's going to be the key for you guys to keep Curry from getting so many wonderful shots last Saturday?
Well, I think they do a lot for him, so you have to do a lot to defend him. We like to keep fresh bodies on him, and he uses screens well. He's got to be alert and aware. He finds ways to get himself open, so you can never fall asleep. Defending him, you can't relax because you'll lose him. He'll make you pay. And so again, he's been good. They do a lot for him too. So
When you see guys like Scott Wood or Seth Curry go off the screens, how physical has it become?
in our league,
Yeah. or
Well, I
non-conference
think,
games included?
I just think college basketball in general has become very physical. I don't think that's something you can whine about. I don't think you can complain about it. You have to accept it. But I do think our college game is not just coming off screens, around the basket, rebounds. It's a lot more physical than it was years ago. And I think it's getting more physical all the time. I go back and watch films like in the 80s and the 90s. It's amazing. Nobody touches anybody. Nobody can bump anybody. Our game now is a lot different than that.
Rashid Suleiman obviously did not play well the last time you guys played, but since then has kind of found his stride again. Looking at film, did you notice anything
No,
in his state game that kind of would explain
no,
that?
no. I haven't. I just know he's playing really well right now. I think he's 13 of 24 from the three-point line since our game. He's scoring inside the line. He's really emerged, I think, in the last few games for him as well.
Coach, is playing at Cameron, I know it's unique, but have they had so much success there just because of how good their team has been, or has Cameron kind of added to that?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with how good they are and have been over the years. And they have a great home court advantage. It's rare, you guys know it more than me. I've been here for a year and a half. But they have created and kept an environment there with a smaller arena, fans close to you, that is unique. A lot of teams, a lot of schools have gone away from that. So I'm sure that helps. But at the same time, I think the players and obviously Coach K, all the factors, they're very good too.
Coach, do you hear the fans when you're there, or do you zone that? Players don't hear them?
I don't think so, not while you're playing. I never did as a player. I don't ask our players. I don't hear anything. You could sit right behind me probably and scream all night long, and I'm not sure I could hear you. It's just kind of an interesting thing with coaches. I think you're just so tuned in to what's going on, it's hard to hear anything else. You kind of pick and choose what you want to hear. I can hear my assistants. I can hear certain things. That's just kind of the way I think that's what happens to all of us when we get right in the middle of a game. So I don't usually hear anything.
Coach, are you still sticking with the zone needs to be 100% to play, or I think you said last time that he needed to be 100% play?
Well, I want him to be 100%. I'm not going to put him in danger of injuring his foot worse or setting himself back, which ultimately sets us back too. I don't want to do that. And so that's going to be a decision, based on Lorenzo, our trainers, our doctors. Comes down to his gut more than mine. And then we just need to collectively make a decision on what's right. And I know he wants to play. He wanted to try to practice yesterday. He tried for about 5 minutes and he couldn't go, and that was it. And so you got to be careful there, because I think you can set a guy back. I don't want to do that. So we'll just have to wait and see how he feels. And if he can't play, I think our team the other night proved to each other, to ourselves and each other, that if he doesn't play, we're still capable of winning, period. And our players know that. And so life moves on.
Anything else for Coach?
What kind of admiration do you have for Coach K and what he brings to college basketball?
Well, I have a lot of respect. I think coaches, when you're in our business, he's done a phenomenal job. And I think for me, what I've grown to respect of coaches like Coach K is, I always use the term staying power. They stay at the top, and you have to give them credit for that. Our business is hard, it's difficult. And so certainly I have a lot of respect.
Anything else? Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.